Hello. Are we live, boys? Hold on, let's double down. Let me make sure I got everything flowing, boys. Oh no, it removed everything for me. It's so annoying. There we go. Now we're in business. Now we're in business, boys. Now, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Let me send out the bat signal. I gotta let the Theromax Corps know. What's up, man? I see you in chat over there. I hope you guys are ready, man. We're gonna be watching some pretty spicy stuff. I've heard this gets really good, so I'm really hoping it's gonna be a W. We're gonna be talking about this new DCKO event, okay? And I ain't gonna lie. It's sounding pretty spicy. I'm gonna be real with you guys. This video is an interview with Casually Comics and Scott Snyder. And I ain't gonna lie, if it's as spicy as I've heard, we might get some pretty crazy stuff out of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. And for those who are real high-end members in the server, I'm just kind of chilling in the Guardian Plus stream section, so you guys are welcome to hop up and give your takes if you want to come hang out with me, assuming you've got the rank. But I'm gonna go ahead and start this bad boys. I'm on kind of a limited time frame this morning. So let's see what good old Scott Snyder's got to say about this new DC event he's kind of crafted together.
Once more joined by Scott Snyder, who is working on so many things. Absolute Batman, CKO, also there's crossover things in the works, so we have a lot to discuss. So how are you?
I'm good. You said that and I was like, wait, there's crossovers? And I was like, oh yeah. I'm very good. It's been a crazy summer, as you and I were talking about. We had all three boys at home, so I'm sort of like mourning the end of summer, and then as most parents can relate, I think I'm also like, thank God they're back in school, you know, as well. It's like the twin feelings of like, oh, I miss summer, and then like also, thank God they're, you have like the house is quiet.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's too quiet.
I know, I was like, is that my cat? You can hear the cat? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely very quiet. It was a nutty summer because yeah, Absolute like took off in a way we did not expect, like as a line. So we got to really go celebrate that, a bunch of conventions and that kind of stuff. So I tried to stay pretty active promoting it, and between that and baseball games and dadding generally, it was a very
dadding generally
of a summer. And then I just realized like I thought we had plenty of time for KO, but because of the covers are these acetate covers that are really cool. Like it looks like this and says KO, and you see the image through it, and then when you open it, you see the full image, and all the covers of each issue are like that. It's pretty cool. Design department.
So even the covers for this DCKO event are going to be pretty cool.
The final order cutoff is earlier than it normally would be, so it's like a week from Monday. It's the 8th. So it's like, oh my God,
so that's
I gotta go out. I know. I gotta go talk about it because I'm like really excited. But I thought we had an extra 2 weeks, which, you know, I usually always like reserve that period for like talking
For
a lot
hype
about this stuff.
and,
So this is
like-
the first, yeah, but this is the first and really only thing right now I have set up. So I was like, every spoiler, everything you want to know, I'm here for it. So yeah.
Dang,
I was
holy,
trying
you guys
to,
listening
talk
to
a little
this,
bit
bro?
about
Every
talk about
spoiler?
it,
What does that even
beforehand to
mean?
kinda see what the headspace is like. And I saw that you were saying that you've been planning this basically from the get-go. So what was it that you wanted
Okay.
to lead towards?
More
this kinda,
statements
like,
of him having
fight
planned this for
kind
like a
of
long
plan?
period of time.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, what it really is Josh Williamson and I kind of planned out the saga with editorial and other creators back in 23, and it was like, it'll have three.
That's
three
been the
kind of
plan since
touch points, right?
23.
So all in, it's the Dark Side saga, and the first. Beat
He's
of it,
really
the opening shot was
leaning
all
into
in.
the dark side
Where
shit.
Darkseid decides he's got to become something bigger and tougher than he's ever been, and so he dies and reforms himself in the absolute universe that he's been incubating ever since. And that's why that universe
He's been
is kind of
incubating.
grittier,
Lamau.
and the heroes
Leaker
are
it.
underdogs.
That's not what I want Darkseid to be doing, boys. We don't want
And so
Darkseid
then,
incubating.
At this point, we're at the midpoint now, so it's been a year plus. And the idea is that right now he's grown far more powerful, way faster than anyone expected, and so he is ready to come over and claim this universe as he claimed the absolute universe. And so we wanted to do something that would be the hero's first real kind of encounter with him.
And we know the
Show
hands aren't
them
gonna show
how
up. They
possible
said
it will be
you're
to beat him.
we're trusting
And
you guys
set
to
the
your own
stakes
fate
of
from
this
now
kind of
on.
third beat, which will come in 27. But for now, like, what we wanted to do as a midpoint was something big and celebratory and fun, and as like kind of a big thank you to everybody for, you know, supporting DC and supporting all these books so aggressively over the course of the last year. So it was always planned as kind of like a midpoint that we wanted to be like this jet fuel for the line. Because what it is like we were like talking about it a year and a half ago, and it was like, what have we not done that would be really fun for the middle? And it was like, well, we always do fight comics. And it was like, well, do we though? And then we looked them.
Do we though? Facts. Yo, preach. Why is Scott Snyder preaching right now?
We don't do them. We haven't done one.
Mhm.
So then it was like, well, why not? Why not do like what Superman versus Wonder Woman versus everybody versus Batman versus whatever? And then it became like, well, look, it's really stressful times for everybody. Do you want to do that over like issues? You know, like, do you want to do a story that's really gritty about like they split over something, you know,
Like
that's
an
happening?
Infinite Crisis type thing.
Yeah, or like you know, like Crisis, Civil War, where it's like heroes have to make a decision about do they register or not. So they
Which
all fight
side?
over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were like, no, I think we're more in the mood for like.
He said no
is there a
Civil
way to
War.
make it much more bombastic and sort of fun. And so what we realized a year ago was
I like hearing that.
Darkseid has become this huge god of conquest.
Oh, they're using modern ass
The way he
scans
did
for
that
this.
Is the apocalypse itself. I was just writing this part, so it's like I was just writing this explanation, which is like, I'm like, how do I keep it to one balloon? So I'm trying my best. It's a big balloon, but the idea is like in the original.
Sometimes he does get a little bit
Darkseid
long.
Was just a scientist god named Uxas, and he sought conquest. He had ambition to conquer, and he went to Apocalypse. And the machine that is Apocalypse, this crazy Kirby infernal machine, changes him sort of into the dark side that we know. And what it runs on and what he runs on is conquest, the energy, Omega energy, the energy of endings and control, right?
Control.
And so the
Yeah,
idea
hell yeah.
is he's always wanted to make
Subjugation.
Earth Apocalypse. That's his whole goal. So in his
Let's go.
universe, he has done that. There is a heart of Apocalypse at the center of Earth, and Earth is funneling all this energy to Darkseid.
Scott Snyder's definition of Darkseid there. That's kind of crazy, actually.
Comes in through the end of
This is
time,
blatantly
he's moving
confirmed.
his way back through the future, which is why if you've been out there reading Superman and a lot of other books that have showed the Legion and all of this kind of stuff ending, then you'll see that's where the story is headed. So Darkseid is making his way back from the future, and as he's doing that, a heart of Apocalypse is forming at the center of our Earth already, which is why there have been these incidents in Aquaman and other books of parademons. And so what the heroes realize is, well,
Okay.
if this thing, this heart of Apocalypse, is what made Darkseid what he is, maybe it can make one of us into something as powerful as him. And so what they realize though is the Heart of Apocalypse, you know, it only changes. It basically it will only.
So they're
change
using the
someone
Heart of
into
Apocalypse to do
Darkseid,
all this?
And Darkseid's this, like, you know, huge version of himself called the King Omega. It will only do that if you're worthy of it, like Thor's hammer. But the way you become worthy is you have to be like him. You have to.
It's like evil Thor's hammer, Lamau. Darkseid's power sets like evil Thor's hammer. That's kind of crazy.
And so they're like, well, if we go to capture it, if we cut it off from him, and then we go to capture it.
What? That's so weird.
One of us captures it, it will turn us into the thing that could defeat him, because otherwise we have no chance, because he's so big and powerful.
Yeah.
So what it is it's a tournament to capture the Heart of Apocalypse, Darkseid's heart, and transform into something that can possibly stop him. And the Heart of Apocalypse, what it does is it creates these levels outside of itself that you have to move through to get to it. And each level is a new test. So some of the levels, like, I don't think we announced this yet, but like December is just fight. It's like the third level is literally like gladiator. It's called All Fight Month. So it's just gladiator battle. Like,
so I'm assuming that's when all the matchups are going to happen, is like the gladiator month?
That are like,
that'll actually be kind of cooked.
And I'm writing one of them, and we won't give away who's fighting whom, but it'll be like one-on-one.
Don't worry, we already got the list. We already got the list.
Levels, like
Scott.
The first level to decide who are the big champions is like a race across this apocalyptic arena to see who can make it across with these huge 400-foot titans just smashing everybody. And
I'm willing to bet that's why most people don't make it past.
Help somebody, the Omega energy goes down. You can't do that. You have to be. If you don't be merciless and competitive,
you're not gonna
fire
win.
Pit, and you won't win because the fire pits won't fill enough to give you the power to defeat Darkseid. So it's like, it's kind of a tournament where it's like the only way to save.
So they're basically just undergoing the same process that made Darkseid in the first place.
And it's like a big fight to the death, but it's not gory. It's like not, it's no edgelord.
That's really interesting. But that's still like this relevant.
And it is violent. Like, you do die. Like, at one point, one of my favorite beats is like,
you will die in this.
Gets, the Adam's belt at one point, and he gets like 200 feet tall, and he starts eating everybody, just like chomping on them.
What the fuck?
It's kind of insane competition.
Lamau.
That's meant to be like, Saturday morning cartoons.
Yo, do I need to make my
And at its core, it has a really personal message, right? Like, Superman, it's a Superman story. He's the main character, and he's really
okay. It's a Superman story.
Whereas like Wonder Woman and Batman are kind of like, look, we got to do it. Like, this is.
Yeah, this is a lot more of Wonder Woman, Batman kind of scenario.
Like, you got to become this thing, but you become this thing you don't want to be to defeat him. And once he's defeated, we'll bring everybody back, and everything can go back to the way it was. But he's kind of reluctant because he's like, it's never what he does. He never like lets loose and like just like, he's always restrained. And so some things happen in the event, like with villains and all this, that then the tournament, they allow him to like sort of take the handcuffs off, and that's a really fun moment too. And he's like, all right then, this isn't about like saving cats from trees. Then like, that's what you want. You want Superman with the brass knuckles.
It's a living in a world of cardboard kind of breakdown.
Exactly. So it's really, that's the fun of it is.
And we do know that that's going to be the case. He is going to have them brass knuckles, unfortunately.
Final Four bracket. And again, like, I want it, and Josh really wants it to be something that fans and retailers like get to go to the store and discuss and have fun with and talk about, and wait, this one beat that one, and this one died but came back, and what's this, and all
those
that
kind of more
fun.
Classic conversations of like
very
who
classic,
would win, like power scaling, all those kind of things.
Yes, and there's power scaling, and there actually was a
what
called WW, like who would win. That was DC who would win, and then
what? Yo, you listen. This man said, yo, power scaling is included. Yo, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Hopefully, it's not a nothing burger statement.
And King Omega is what Darkseid has become, and what the heroes are trying to become here.
I'm glad you said that, because I assumed it was Knockout.
Well, it is,
I mean, also.
It is Knockout in that, like, it's fun because you make Knockout jokes, and like, there's a lot of Knockout references in the story. But again, it's, I always love doing events like metal and death metal, and I know, people, they can be too bonkers for some people, and I certainly, I can get like way out over my skis sometimes with them. But I mean, the fun of them isn't the thing that I'd really impress the people too. Is,
oh my god, I'm sure someone will have a heyday with that statement.
Event is, it's kind of a statement about, what you're embracing at this moment at the
Mhm.
at DC, and it's really as valuable as the excitement it generates for what's come after it. So if you do an event,
Yo,
and
what's
there's
up, Rock?
nothing there, it doesn't do
Yeah.
anything except make a statement.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Rock, I'm not even
But
kidding.
my
This
goal
man
at this
said
point, at my role at DC now,
included,
consulting,
included,
is to do an
okay?
event that will
In
get
this
people in the stores
KO
to
event, it's
see,
power
like,
scaling.
this-
Yo,
like,
that's
my plan is
crazy.
the day it comes out
Mhm.
in October at New York to
That's
announce some of the awesome
crazy.
books rolling out of it on the other side. And I
Mhm.
think we're gonna do that. And then to be like, see, this is what we're doing these things for, is to get you in the stores, to get you having fun, and then if you can keep it going with us, we're gonna give you some awesome stuff on the other side and brush up some of the books in our
Mhm.
line that we think could use a little more energy, all kinds of fun things. So 26, I really think will be our best year. We're being really additive. Like, we did really well.
He
in
said
25, so-
26
I've
is going to
noticed
be
that
their
there's been a lot
best
of
year.
Tightening. The books are getting a lot more interconnected together. There's a lot more interplay between them, and there's
True,
definitely a lot
and that's
of
healthy
that if
in
you're
certain
reading all
amounts of
them,
ways.
you'll pick up on, which
Yeah.
I think is a lot of fun. Have you seen people responding to that or noticing it?
Yeah, it's funny because there are really two kinds of fans. You know, some fans really don't like interconnectivity, and I think that's one of the reasons the Absolute line has been a lot of fun for them.
Yeah,
that
'cause it's just
so
so
standalone.
separate from
We are
everything
starting to
else, yeah.
interconnect those characters there, like
Mhm.
you know, Wonder Woman and Batman meet for the first time in January. So you have a place to go though. to
Yo?
really sort
Wonder
of
Woman
enjoy
Batman
the
crossover
titles,
coming soon?
But
Question
you know,
mark?
with the main books, I think we try and do these things where we give everything a lot of room, and then
Mhm.
around the time an event, you start to kind of come together, and then you go back out into
Mhm.
you know, your new statuses. So for me, my role is to look at the line with editorial and with creators to fly out there and be like, what books are fans really loving and retailers
Mhm.
really loving, and what books are kind of struggling, and how do we talk about that without it being a horrible negative conversation, you know? Like,
Mhm.
how do we be realistic? Because not to get too inside the beltway again, but like there are a lot of years, like I've seen, you know, there are a lot of years at DC and a lot of just times in other, like in general, I think teaching, and you see a
Mhm.
bad version of that sometimes where like, you know, things aren't going well and people get fired immediately or books get canceled or there's chaos. And I think, you know, the way that we're really trying
Yeah,
to
we're
change
watching
the
Casually
community and
Comics.
the culture at DC now,
The interview
is
with them.
to take a moment and be like, okay, look, what are the strengths of this book that maybe isn't performing as well as we thought it would?
Captain Adam has his
Is there a
glory.
way to
We'll
fix
find
that?
out. I don't know if
What's
Captain Adam's
what's
gonna be
kind of
it,
not
man.
working? And can we have a conversation with the creator and with editorial about
At least they have him
realistically
making it
what
late
these are the
game.
things that are,
I think
you know,
the-
you might want to bring up,
so,
bring down. Is there a
like-
book that speaks more to you than this one? We're not, you know. So is there something you think you might?
He said
so
earlier.
really-
Like,
yeah, exactly. So
without
He said earlier there's like layers to this event because they're basically undergoing the original Dark Side process, and the third layer of this event is going to be a gladiatory arena, which is what I think the like the matchups are essentially. And there's going to be all the stuff that leads up to that where most people are eliminated, and so yeah, I think we're just going to see one side of this event.
getting like
Which would be those
inside,
involved.
Have there been any that you've been able to turn around like that?
We won't just
Oh, yeah.
cover
Yeah,
everything,
I mean,
unfortunately.
I think you'll see in March, like, it's more the creators. I mean, I think part of the freedom is going to them and making them know, like, nobody's looking to, like, fire them or be like, this
Yeah.
book isn't working. And it's more a constructive conversation about, like, look, like, why are you doing some of the things in this book that, you know, feel
Aren't
feel off
successful.
for you, and the things you seem to
Mhm.
like to do, or what are you, that. And when you start to suss it out, a lot of the time what it comes from is like just a desire to, you know, make a book your own, and over being overzealous and maybe throwing out some of the baby with the bathwater for, like, you know, throwing out core elements without realizing you're doing it. Sometimes I think it can just be like you don't realize how slowly you're telling a story in a
Mhm.
market that demands a lot more.
Corona is
than it
back,
used to,
and yes,
you
I
know?
did
And
call
so
that shit. You
It's
right?
those things. And I've been going to DC and doing a bit of a class too about like
I'm so
some
fucking
of those
hyped.
fundamental
I knew
things.
it was
That's
Corona or
really
Volthoom.
changed.
I've got a
It's
series of videos
fascinating
dropping on
in
that shit.
comics Where
Mhm.
it feels like, I think I talked to you about this last time, but I mean, it's really ramped up where things are really overperforming that embrace some of the fundamental joys of monthly comics again. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
True.
conservative or
Yeah.
not. I mean, what I mean is going back to the things that
Yo.
it's really fun.
Based answer.
Yeah, like
Comics
doing
are for
the,
fucking
those
everyone,
kind
man.
of, you know,
Exactly.
fundamental things. Yeah.
Yeah, and doing like big cliffhangers, making sure that you, because a lot of it is like we swim in this miasma of streaming all the time. I just feel like we've become so used to that mode of
True.
storytelling. Almost
I hate
in
those
some
a-holes
insidious
always
way
streaming.
over the last like 5 years, where all of us consume so much streaming that you forget as a writer coming into this medium that it's almost opposite. Like, because you're like, oh well, there's episodes, there's issues. But when you're doing streaming, like you buy your service, you know, so you have a subscription, so you don't have to buy every episode as it comes out, and you don't have to wait a month to wait.
True.
So the priorities of that storytelling are really decompressed a lot of the time, and they keep you and they're about telling a novelistic, immersive thing. A lot of the time, you know. And with comics, it's like, no, you got to remind people what happened last month.
And why they need to come back.
Remind them every episode, every issue.
It's an older medium. It takes longer for it to be digested, so.
And give them a what the fuck moment where they're like, and now as the fun is talking about this for a month and waiting to see what happens next month. And then also
It's
like,
hard to convince people to wait that long nowadays.
And make sure above all that the book
It's
has
so true.
a purpose and a reason to exist that says this is where you can get this thing you can't get somewhere else. And you see books across the landscape embracing those, from Transformers and
step away for 1 second.
and G.I. Joe.
Yo, for those everyone just joining up, man, we're repping some Casually Comics, talking about Scott Snyder's new DCKO event, and sounding to be pretty insane right now.
And the Ultimate line at Marvel, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate, you know, a lot of the Ultimates, like a lot of books that are really
referencing Marvel right now.
You see going back to those basics, and again, it's not about what kind of story you could tell. You could tell a story that's, you know, a space soap opera, or you could tell a political story, you could tell whatever, but it's embracing the things that make monthly comics fun, as opposed to ignoring them because they seem like a hassle. Like, do I really have to do a recap kind of thing? And you know, but when you look at it, if you do a recap subtly, it actually makes the reader feel joy because they feel smart for, even though, because you're not telling them, you know what you forgot, you're just easing it in, and then they feel like, oh right, I remember that.
Amen to that. Like, don't fucking spoon feed me, dude. Don't spoon feed me this stuff.
Fun. Seeing things in this
just give me a story that's memorable, so you don't have to recap shit.
Like, again, with the absolute line, like every single book has gone back to print, which is, you know, like beyond any imagining we had. And Absolute Batman's like 1 million plus at this point with all the things it sold. You know, that those numbers are unfathomable, but trying to look at it analytically and be like, okay, that's
the Absolute stuff is just selling like crazy, man.
Decompressed storytelling. If you kind of let it go for 13, 14 issues without, you know, you assume they're going to be there, you also see the opposite. You see a lot of books struggling. Like, it's a really competitive moment in the market, especially in the creator owned, a lot of stuff where you see a lot of books going down pretty fast. So it's a fascinating moment, you know, and that's why with KO, the point is we want you to have fun, get in there, feel like it's what the hell is happening in this. Because the stuff we're launching on the other side is all meant to get you even more excited about DC and make you feel like we're hearing the things you like, we're trying new things, we're investing in creators that you're excited about, and we're bringing back people that you love and characters you love, and we're brushing up the main line in places. So you will, like, again, it's not me fixing anything. It's creative conversations between editorial and creative.
Hell is those flash.
You will see a lot of books, like in March, sort of just doing new storylines, some taking different tacks from where they were. And that's all a testament to the creators really wanting to build the best stuff. And you will see the addition of some really awesome books as well. Like an initiative.
Okay.
An initiative where we get to...
There's a whole new initiative dropping soon? Yo, that's kind of crazy.
I get in so much trouble. I can't. I'll do it really soon, but...
He says, I can't, bro. DC will kill me. They'll off me, man. I can't do it.
Really close with the retailer groups over the last, like, 4 years.
I've become really successful in the last few years. That's that was. Humble brag.
So it doesn't look like me.
That's crazy.
Asking. But like, we try and figure out what characters are the ones that you think really are missing and could use good books, and that. And so a lot of it is designed
Okay.
around what characters fans really want to see have a book. And I'm excited because they're all characters I really love. So, and there's a big variety. So there's like badass, we're coming straight for you, like, you know, that, and there's like books that are a little more a little more gentle than other books. So it's all over. But it's the goal is to really look at it and be like, what are we missing? What do we want to do? What are creators and fans excited for? And not be algorithmic. I mean, that's the shit that I hate. Is like,
Hey, man. Don't give me this robotic shit that everyone's been doing, man, for like the last half a
If you
decade.
end up chasing it, you end up with something incredibly generic, because ultimately when
Yeah.
you're appealing to something so wide, then that's how you end up with just, you know, I was in a silly group for nail polish years ago where we would vote, and then it got super huge, and then all the winners were always just generic things like jewels and months of the year, and like you didn't end up with anything interesting anymore, because when you are looking to try and appeal to
I can relate to that story a whole bunch.
and one of the things,
exactly.
yeah, like one of the things I've noticed is people are saying they feel a lot of Silver Age energy coming out of DC at the moment. There's actually that line in Superman this week where Superboy Prime actually just flat out says it. Is that something that is intentional? Are you looking to that era specifically?
Yeah, I mean, well, for Superman, Josh is such a huge fan of Silver Age, and I think the Silver Age to me embraces the lunacy of comics, which is a lot of fun. Like you have this canvas with comics. You have a budget that's unlimited. You have a cosmology that can be complicated and weird and fun and Kirby-esque. And I mean, KO is definitely in that.
Preach.
You see it succeeding with like Superman the movie in that way too.
Actively talking about cosmology.
Silver Age kind of wackiness and craziness as well. So I think a lot of the fun right now is like people wanting comics to feel like big comics in that way, regardless again of what tack they take in terms of what they're about. I think the scale and the scope and the grandeur and the fun is sort of like really in demand. You know, that level of like Galactus and Fantastic Four and all of that. People are ready for those concepts that are sort of pushing the boundaries of even super realism. So yeah, I mean, KO literally this part that I was writing, I was like, so wait, you know, I think my favorite line from Death Metal was like when they talk about Wonder Woman is talking about the plan, and she's like, wait, so we have to fire nth metal through the rock of eternity to get to the dark multiverse, and that's the plan. And Batman's like, either that's the plan or you're having a stroke. You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, that's kind of the level of ridiculousness you want. If it
says, yo, it's gonna be that ridiculous,
really
bro.
Superman realizing
that's crazy.
Down, people want him to take control, and they want him to fix all these things and bring everybody back better and do all of this stuff. And that in a lot of ways the universe has been pushing him in that direction too, with some of the cosmic events we've done. Like it ties into Doomsday Clock and ties into
okay, we get ties to Doomsday Clock and Dark Crisis,
positioned as the center of our universe, where when the metaverse theory that Jeff put forward, that when Superman's story changes, everything changes. And I feel deep down he's constantly rejecting.
Oh man, so will this affect the totality of the multiverse simply because Superman goes darker?
Is my point. For all of it's like he goes in there literally, he's wearing
yo,
with little suns.
That's kind of crazy.
So it's like
W's in chat.
It is like a big it is really a big sort of heartfelt like ode to Superman for me. Because I've done an event, I did the metal was Batman, death metal was Wonder Woman, and now I get to do Superman with Josh, and he's
so rounding out the Trinity.
Rounding out the Trinity. Next time it'll be like Detective Chimp.
So clearly Superman wins this one, boys.
I know, right? Ambush.
How tragic. It's a Superman event.
He's like the first.
Superman's got to win, and we are placing a lot of focus on Superman here.
Him into a fire pit when nobody's looking. When they're running across this, thing. Actually, no, somebody else is the first to go, and it was actually like an argument with DC where they were like, I don't know, fans might be mad about that. I say we.
Scott's triggering us.
First. Like nobody wants to be first. So.
Nobody wants to be first, and you go to when you die, you like die, and then you vanish in like an apocalyptic, flame, and then your statue goes on the Hall of Losers, like the thing where you're out of the competition. So it's like a whole thing. Of,
he says you joined the Hall of Losers, dude.
Statue of who you were. So there's some dignity in it. You're not like left there, just smushed, you know. But yeah, there's one guy that's really funny because it's like as the race starts, this character is like, "Don't worry, Superman, we got," and he's like saying, "We got this," and this, and it, like he's just out like before they even say go. So it's kind of fun. I mean, again,
Lamau.
people might.
Who's getting one-shotted at the beginning?
I'm a little worried that they're gonna be like, but again,
Fuck.
the real purpose of it again is like we love doing these things and trying to say like DC is about these priorities right now. What we've really been working on over the last few months is getting some books together and some storylines together for the main line and
okay.
And we're going to announce new Absolute book beyond Absolute Green Arrow for
Absolute Green Arrow, let's
so
go.
we're really being additive. Like what I'm really proud of with DC, and I'll say
I've heard about that,
like,
and let me tell you guys, you aren't ready for what that story's about. I'm not even kidding. Your Absolute Green Arrow goes against Jeffrey Epstein, bro. It's crazy.
There's gonna be all this cool stuff in them. Like Greg Capullo did a cover that is available in a special form in it, and then one of the variant artists is doing sketches, and we have all these sketches hidden in them. So again, like you should tell your store to order blind bags. But the doing something that really gets you guys excited so that on the other side we can be additive. And what I'm proud of with DC is that they made a lot of money last year. Like DC Comics did well. Like it was really cool to see with Hush and Absolute, and now with Batman #1 coming with Fraction. That's a really good book. They hit like beyond what they expected budgetarily early in the year. And so instead of just being like we're putting that away and being really thrifty, they're reinvesting in a lot of the books and trying to add books and trying to take a swing on things that are still a little edgy and out there. And some of them that we're going to announce, I think people will be like, whoa, that's a swing. And some of them will be like, oh, that's totally what I've wanted for a long time. That's right up my alley. And that's
I hope it's not any too. I hope it's not too much any crazy swings, man.
And I was kind of dreading it. No, sorry, Jim, if you're watching, because I love Jim and I was like so excited. But like Jim, he like coming out of the city. I live 2 hours outside the city, so I was like, is he coming here to tell me something awful, like to? And it wasn't that at all. He was like coming out to celebrate where things are and to talk about plans, and it was great. It was so. I mean, the feeling is really good, and the goal is to just keep it going. Like I'm no longer worried if you don't like the event or you don't like it. It's gonna be critical of me. I don't care about that. Like I have enough stuff at this point.
You tell him, Scott.
Like I am who I am. You could. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't.
Definitely a Superman event. Definitely a Superman event.
Josh and I aren't worried about like, oh, I hope you like the event so that our cachet does anything. But I'm really, really want the event to do well so that it creates fuel for the stuff we're doing on the other side. Because I think the better we do, the more risks we can take creatively, the more things we can try. And by the time we get to that third story point, like the big finale of it in 27. If you guys stay with us through this and support this part, that part's gonna be insane. It's gonna be nuts.
He says, yo, if you think this is crazy, that's gonna be wild.
I keep waiting for a shoe to drop, but everyone's been really good. Like everyone is supportive, and like it's a really healthy environment. I think
on the fan side, the energy has been pretty good too. Like purely anecdotally, like when I managed to get out to a comic store, which isn't often, like people are actually approaching me and talking to me about like, oh, I'm reading Absolute Green Lantern, and like I want to learn so much more about the lore and the history and all of that kind of stuff, and like who's Alan Scott and all of those things. I'm like, that's really cool because there is all.
True. I have noticed some buzz amongst the normal peoples.
Really start to get into
the normies.
I find that they don't just stay in one place and they kind of explore all over, and that's really exciting.
I'll admit, I don't watch a lot of Casualty comics. She seems pretty on point.
Energy, which is good.
That's a great way of putting it. I mean, that's the hope, and it's the biggest surprise with Absolute beyond just the sales itself is how many. I've been to a bunch of cons in the last 6 months to like promote and try and be out there supporting all the books, and also because like I have a kid going to college, so all of a sudden I'm like, I gotta go to these cons and sign some books.
I'm trying to pay for college, man.
Anyone out there, way more expensive than I thought it was. But anyway, But one of the nicest things was people coming up to us and talking about how Absolute has been their introduction to comics, and they start discovering a lot of amazing
Yo, that'd be crazy.
in continuity and classics and all of this through that. And that was always the hope, you know, is that it's a gateway drug to, like, you know, even better or more, not a bad analogy, drugs, but don't do drugs, kids, but like a gateway to more amazing landscapes and worlds of comics. So yeah, it's been a good time. I'm not blowing smoke either. Like, I don't go out and shill for stuff I'm not excited about. That's what I mean. You know? Like, so I wouldn't be out here talking about DC and saying I really like it if I hated it. Like, when I was unhappy at DC, I didn't try and go out there and say, I mean, I loved what we were working on, so I was always excited about that. But I didn't go out there and be like, it's such the environment and the culture and this stuff, like the way I try and do now, and where we're headed and the things we have planned and all of that. That's new. So yeah, so I hope people feel that it's
Sounds like they're giving him a lot of control and a lot of praise over there. I'm actually kind of surprised at that.
No, it's
Good to see the man
people
get some
are
praise.
Responding to it, from what I see. I mean, of course, you'll always have people who don't like certain things. That's the norm, and it's to be expected. But what is exciting is, like, you're seeing the return to some of those, like we were talking about earlier, more classic conversations, not just in terms of like who would win, but also like, oh, which one's better and that kind of thing. And sometimes people look at those conversations and they can be like, ooh, don't have those. But those are exciting because it means that people are engaged. It's like, oh, well, they're engaged with all of it. And that means that they're interested in like what's going on all along. That kind of conversation, in my opinion, is a good thing because it denotes interest in everything that's going on.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's like watching my kid. It's been fascinating because my like I was telling you off the air, but like my 18-year-old is like very, very like straight out of Central Casting teenage boy. He likes, you know, like he's very like, all right, bro, you know, whatever. And I love it that, and I love him. And,
that hit me.
But it's I was a nerd, and I was, you know, I was always like, and my middle son is much more, Emmett is much more sort of in that zone of like a little bit shy, a little more into his like base, but he found his way into sports. He loves sports now, watching and all of that, but he was through baseball cards. Like, he just found them and loved the stats, and it was fascinating to see him enter this whole arena. And now he's become so comfortable socially with other kids because he loves arguing about who's the GOAT and what about this team and that team. And like, as much as him and his brother go on and on about LeBron or MJ or whatever, that it's just like you're saying, it's the engagement. And I love when fans say, oh, I don't like Absolute Batman as much as Absolute Wonder Woman, or I really like this, but great. Like, you know,
it's about the conversation.
Or even I love Ultimate Spider-Man.
Because at the end of the day, it's you've got something you're enjoying from DC. Just talk about DC.
Skip it.
Literally what the man's saying.
Feel passionately about it. Like, that's when you're really in trouble. And that's the kind of writing and stuff that we're pushing back against internally, is that, like, again, that lack of urgency. We want you to feel like you get one shot. You know, imagine it's your one shot. It's your one arc you get to do. What is that then? Like, do that one thing that if you left it on the shelf, you would be proud of that. Like, swing for the fence. That's it. Don't do the thing that's like, I want to do this to get to another thing, to get to another.
What's up, Godspeed?
You got to go in there and be like,
welcome to the party.
This is the point at the fence.
Like, chilling, watching some new content on DC, man. New interview from Scott Snyder.
Outfield and swing for the home run, you know.
Well, it's fine. I've got like "Lose Yourself" Eminem lyrics going in my head right now. So
right? Yes. Yeah. That's my generation.
That's the vibe I'm definitely getting from this event,
There are all
dude.
these
Holy
things we're
shit.
gonna try and do. Like, in the back of the comic, there'll be a bracket, like a Final Four bracket with the 32 champions that are in it, and we're gonna do a thing where the story that gets closest to it will come to a signing and giveaways and special covers and, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. That's we're gonna do a wild card, which we're gonna do it probably at New York, where we'll have a voting thing, and you could maybe vote somebody back in or vote somebody in that's not in it, and then they'll play a role in issue 4 if I can get that together in time. But yeah. You know,
votes are difficult these days, though, because you gotta do them across so many platforms and coordinate the results.
That's why I was like, what if we just have a box at New York, like just like a
an
a
actual
box and
physical.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you go to New York and you go to the DC booth, maybe you just like get to do a ballot and like put it in there, and that's it. Because otherwise it does. They were talking about the logistics of like, well, we could do it on our Reddit or we could do it on our Discord, and I was like, it
No,
started to
because
get
Superman or Swamp
then
Thing?
different,
Superman
like,
right now is
winners have
definitely
different
beating the hell out of
platforms,
Swamp
and then
Thing,
there's
man.
So like,
Just saying.
it's probably the best.
Yeah, right. I feel like it's like the physical
Easy,
ballot.
GG.
There, if you come there and you want to vote, there'll be like a voting thing, and
Thing
even
is the nightmare.
characters that don't exist in it yet. They could come in from there's a way to work them in, so it really will be.
Even
like,
characters who don't exist
go
in the
vote if
tournament.
you want. I mean,
Yo,
I still remember voting
May
for
show
Jason
up?
Todd to die as a kid from a payphone at 23rd Street.
Why were
where
you
I
a
grew up in.
hater?
Well, no, but that's the weird thing. And then I went up to
He was a hater,
house, my
Laval?
apartment in Waterside, and got a court, like another court, came down and voted against myself, voted to cancel out my vote so that he would live. And then I was like, I wash my hands of this. Like, I like literally voted for him to die and then to live. So I was useless.
Laval.
But I remember loving waiting for that. So without making it that, I mean, you
He
should have
said kill him, and maybe not, I don't know.
Especially when I was like, let's do a call-in, like to see who will win this. And it was like, no.
Just no, dude, I
was like,
refuse.
Okay, maybe something scale it down. Like, a wild card that comes into one issue that, you know, will be one of the bad guys that could actually win if people. We'll see. But I mean, like something scalable that works and makes people feel engaged, and that's the fun. You're just trying to.
Other people who could win,
allow
huh?
yourself to be corny with it too.
No way,
That's-
this hasn't been decided already.
Some of it is that, like, I think.
Embracing
never been-
cringe, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm pretty cringy. Like, I'm okay. I'm a
Yo,
dad. Like, I've
confirmed
never
cringe?
been- I'm not at the cool kids table in that way. As much as I love, I feel like I've gotten a pretty good passport at this point to be able to move among the whole ecosystem of comics pretty freely without a lot of baggage, you know? So, like, you know, for example, like I have my Vertigo friends who used to make fun of me a lot for like going out there and being a juggling bear for Batman and doing corny, you know, videos on Twitter, and that they're not wrong. Like, it's cringy and it is like 100% there, but I try and keep it honest about, like, I've never been shy about trying to shill or promote stuff that I'm really proud of, you know. And it's okay if like I'm the butt of the joke if the book does well, you know. I don't want it to be about me. I think early in my career I probably was more wrapped up in my own ego about like trying to make a name for myself and being more visible myself and what I could bring to the table, and that stuff in those first early years.
He says I've moved past that. I've become greater.
At this point, it's not about me at all. I don't mind being more like a clown out there if it's going to sell Absolute Martian Manhunter, or if it's going to get more people aware of.
Well, I don't think it's clownery. I think it's genuine.
Yeah,
I
facts.
think there's been, over the last few years leading up to now, there's been a bit of a cynicism about being authentic and genuine in that kind of way.
True.
In earnest. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I'm starting to see people, I think, embrace the idea that you can go out and be genuine, and like that's fine, and that kind of enthusiasm isn't something to shy away from. And my chair is falling, which is great. So,
Oh no.
it's propped up. It's real bootleg in here.
But that's what I was attracted to with like your channel from the beginning. Is like, you care about comics, you're enthusiastic, you do deep dives into subjects people want. There's a like swimming in it in a fun way that isn't, you know. And again, like, if what I'd say to aspiring creators is just, it's being genuine. And this is my, like, I am, again, like, I'm corny, like, I'm dad, I am all these, I am not Batman, you know what I mean? I wish I was cooler than I am, but ultimately, like, I'm very, very, very proud of the work I've been involved in comics, you know, and different, and the things I've tried to do creatively myself. But my comfort zone has become, after a lot of years of being really shy, to be the opposite. To be, I'll go out and yell about it if I like it. Whereas if your comfort zone really is, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I was just talking to, I'm become like super close with Dennis Camp. And you know, he has a different comfort level with that, where it's much more the different comfort level about being in front of a camera and being out there. And that's what I was like, then don't not do. Just do exactly what you feel comfortable with. Be you, you know? And some people have no desire for social media whatsoever and do not want to promote it at all. Like, you know, I was just talking to Greg Rucco because he's doing, you know, he's been back doing stuff with DC, that's his comfort zone, and I'm not. He's like, I know you probably want me to do X, Y. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, no one's trying to, because it comes off as fun.
This is the most based. This is the most based thing I want to hear from the guy effectively running DC right now. Like, seriously.
You know, not cool or corny or pushing too hard or whatever it is. Like, we all have our lanes, and if whatever the maximum level of push you have in your comfort zone, do that thing. Like, and try and find a way that you feel comfortable with promoting your book. That might literally just be calling retailers and telling them and sending.
Woo! We got him, boys. Doing
live streams, or it might be whatever. But that, you know. So for me, like, I do hope it comes across like that. I'm sincere. Josh is sincere. You, like, you know, it might not resonate with you what we're selling or that stuff, but we really believe in it, and I believe deeply in it as a symbol of what DC is trying to do and becoming right now, which I'm
God tier though.
Part of, you know.
No, it's definitely an exciting time, and just everything is just everywhere. And in regards to, you know, promoting it, getting it out there, I say every little bit helps, because whenever I talk about something, whatever it is, there's always at least one person who's like, I didn't hear about that. And so it's like, you know, as long as, and maybe that person will then go and check it out and spread the word. It's that kind of thing. I feel that comics works really well on a kind of word of mouth kind of basis, because I don't know, I've never found the big marketing pushes to be all that coordinated. I'm always still finding out about stuff late. So
me too. And like half the time it's like stuff I'm supposed to know and like whatever, and I'm like, wait, what? Like when you said crossover,
Aquaman for the dub.
But and then I was like, oh, I know what you mean. But I know, just like it's really hard to assume that people know. Like we swim in this ecosystem a lot, but like trying to reach people that have like a really sort of peripheral knowledge of it is the goal, and to be able to be like, look, this is a story. If you've ever wondered which superhero is going to win, and maybe bad guys are in it too, we're not supposed to know, but maybe like all of your favorite DC
bad guys going to be showing up as well.
Like,
let's go.
Trying to get the heart of Darkseid to become the King Omega, fight cards, all of that. Like, if you've ever loved smashing your toys together, this is an easy one for you. This is a fun one, and again, it's got to be hard, but ultimately it's designed to make you feel comfortable in the comic store, to want to go, to talk to your friends. That's what Absolute Batman, I mean, Absolute Batman is clearly like it's a really personal book. And I mean, I can't believe they're letting us get away with everything we're getting away with it, but you know, we're really...
What does that mean? What does that mean, boys? What is he doing?
It gets like... The Joker issue is coming, and that one is really rough. The cover just came in. They're gonna release it in like a week, I think. But it's and then we have Catwoman coming, and I won't say where, but Harley Quinn is coming into the book really soon, and Dick Grayson comes back in a really big way. So we have Nick and I, and Nick
Grayson's gonna show up. I guess the Titans aren't gonna sideline themselves for long.
Not the entire series, but we planned out the entire sort of series such as we see it right now, and it was a good 35 to 40 issues, and we just laid it out. So now I'm in my own head about it, where I'm like, Absolute Batman. But you know, with that, like, again, being able to create something and seeing people be like, this is leading me towards Grant Morrison's like amazing run on Batman or Dark Knight Returns or whatever. Like that's awesome. You know, that's really fun. And the Absolute line, I should say, we have a lot of plans as well. We're bringing the villains together in September in Absolute Evil, which will be really fun. It has a big twist. Cut 2 big twists in it.
Absolute Evil? Yo. That's the first I've heard of Absolute Evil. That sounds interesting.
Officially, the couple books for the line that are that we're doing. And then we have Wonder Woman and Batman meeting in January, and then we have some more fun developments later. And in Absolute Batman, we have Scarecrow is coming in issues like we have 14 is the end of the Bane one. 15, and Catwoman shows up in 13. 14 is the big finale of the Sark. 15 is the Joker issue, the big special where you learn all about him. And then 6, and we have an Arkham special we're gonna do then too. And nice. Yeah, it's really fun. It's like all these things you didn't know about Arkham Asylum, and like introduction of some of the characters that we're keeping trapped in there. And then February is where we're going to dive into some really fun Scarecrow stuff.
Mhm.
So that's it's like full blast, no brakes, you know, all gas, no brakes, like no slowing down. There's like I feel bad. It's almost like the opposite of there's no decompression. It's all like,
It is very rapid, I have to say.
It does feel like a
This next
lot is
issue
coming out all at
slows
once,
down, but
boys.
it's still, I don't know. I have this fear of losing people when we have so much stuff we're excited about coming. So if I ever err, I'm sure I err on the side of like, you know, too much too soon. But I'd rather be on that side, I guess. And I feel pretty good about the way we've paced it out. I think you know, I think it's healthy. You know, we'll see. But
it's certainly maximalist, but I think that helps it stand out a bit, and it's meant to feel different also because it is part of a different line. So I think in some ways that helps it because it gives some of a different energy to it.
Yeah, well, all the books are like that. I love the way that they, like, for us, I mean, part of the goal, there's so much to do. Like, we're really trying to flip the whole mythology where Batman, you'll see, like, his friends, I don't want to give away what happens to his friends, but like at the end of 11, there's like the obvious, like, something bad is coming for his friends. But eventually, like, what we're building towards is this reversal where Bruce traditionally is against the Arkham villains and Harley and them, and with the characters you expect. And here, trying to build towards something where Bruce's Bat family is the characters that he's usually up against. And the Joker is the one that has, you know,
Yo, that's crazy.
Full context of a cave and all.
I gotta read
like,
Absolute Batman, man.
Like a silo, like a bunker, or you know, millionaire thing under a manor, where you know, he has all of the kind of resources and the characters that you would assume are around Bruce, at least for a little while. So it's I like want to spoil everything because I'm so excited about it. Yeah, it's really
That's good, dude.
I've
He's
never
so
been
excited about what
as
he's doing.
confident about
That's a big W.
Like, about a book, just in terms of my love of what we're doing. Like you know, Batman, I never had any moment to plan, just because, you know, from the moment we were on it, we never got a break. So there was we never got a second. But with Nick, we've had a lot of time to think about it, and so you can sit back and look at it and be like, this is the whole plan. Like, he put up all these, I had this like glass thing on my wall over here, and he just covered it. My neighbor made it. It's a crazy painting from a window, but he covered it in pages of just like of each issue was a page, and just so it was really fun.
What made you decide to have Batman meet Wonder Woman first?
Because she feels like the one in this universe that would reach out. Like, she feels like the nexus point, because Batman is just so
she is
about
very
Gotham, and Superman is really hunted and on the run and figuring himself out. And
she's like loving and caring,
sort of the searcher, the curious one about the world and that. So it just felt like the natural point. And Kelly had a really good idea about why she comes to Gotham for this supernatural kind of threat in this way, but also, you know, sort of seeks out Batman in a way, and then how Batman would respond, because it's his first encounter with like someone who's like a god being. He's never seen anything like that. And so what would he ask? What would he want? You know? And then Nick's like, I want him to get to ride that horse. I'm like, oh, Nick, I don't want him to hold that sword. I'm like, that sword's really big, dude. I don't know. So the fun, and then we let like Hayden and Nick got to talk and just sort of, what do you want to draw? There's a lot of that too. Like, what badass thing do you want to draw? And it's coming out really well. I'm really, I mean, again, Kelly is, you know, a fantastic collaborator, and we've been friends a long time, so it's a lot of fun. And Jason is great too. Jason is really like, has a very big plan for Absolute Superman, and really has like a track he's on. That's why we felt these two first, and then you'll see a surprise meeting in Superman with another character soon. But it starts to really sort of coalesce in next year in 26. Not with me. We have no plans, like, just so everyone knows, because I know
there's always like scuttlebutt about like they're coming, it's absolute crisis, and then it's all going to be over.
It won't be over.
Absolute crisis,
like,
yo.
We have big events planned, you know, that we have to figure out for, like I said, like a third touch point for 27, 28. But what we've really decided firmly, like, is that none of that has to affect or end or do anything to the existing universe such as it is, because we're all having such a good time. And already, like what I just told you about 35 issues takes you past that point. Like, so there's no danger for anybody of like, if we did a thing where we have to bring the characters into a space, which I don't even know that we are, but like, I know what has to happen. I know the story, and Josh knows it, for what the main universe heroes have to do to try and fight Darkseid. But I don't know yet how involved we'll make the Absolute Universe. It's really based on what the creators feel comfortable with at that time, and I know also on the other side of that event, like we're not closing down the Absolute Universe in any tangible. There's no plans to do anything like that unless all of a sudden to be like. But honestly, if suddenly all the books drop off a cliff, like we won't have a choice if sales-wise things just go away. But right now, it's the last thing anyone at DC would even let us do. So, you know, we have plans to take us for at least another couple years past the point of where we would try and get the Darkseid saga kind of together for its big climax. So, yeah, it's not designed to.
People are kind of getting more comfortable, you know, with the idea that things are sticking around, which I think is a good thing. I think the crisis thing is just a meme because DC has a history of crises.
Yeah, no, this one,
True.
Like, and this one, just to be very clear, like KO is not something that does any damage or affects the Absolute Universe in any way. You do.
Sirens, my bad.
Say that there isn't like surprising, fun touch points and things that happen that I think will really excite people. That show how these stories are sort of intertwined in their own way, in big, violent, fun ways. But that. Again, I'm very protective, I promise you that, of the Absolute Universe as a place that you guys can go and enjoy your books without interruption. So an interference from anything else. We don't want to take that for granted. So yeah, but it is about how these two universe, KO does, you know, Darkseid is coming over from that universe having drained its power to come here. And so there is a factor of like, what is that? How do the main universe characters like learn
deal with that?
I don't want to give it away, but like, you'll see. But again, no one's rushing to do anything that will. If you're loving the Absolute books, don't worry. Like, just please, like, there's no close coming. There's no closure coming. There's no interruption coming. Don't worry. It's all good.
So you seemed a bit surprised when I mentioned the crossover. Are you working on any of the DC Marvel stuff, or like?
I am. I'm doing one of the backups with Josh and James. It's I think it was announced. Did it? Yeah.
Are you Doctor Strange and Constantine?
Yeah, Doctor Strange and Constantine. Yeah, James pitched a thing, and I was like, we have to do that together. And you know, we did all the metal stuff together, so the three of us getting to work together is a blast. And obviously Hayden is a beast, and I love Hayden to death. So yeah, it's really fun, and just to see what they have planned for that, and you know, there's more plans for that stuff too that are really fun. So Marvel DC stuff. So as long as people go out and enjoy it and are buying them, I think they'll continue to try and do them. You know, so
yo, that's good news.
Like, whatever, again,
as long as people buy up the DC versus Marvel stuff, they'll keep making it.
These comics and introduces them to the whole ecosystem and the whole library of them, you know. So
are retailers seeing like a surge up in like people coming and stuff?
That's what I mean. My store, like the people I talk to, a pretty big sample size of retailers, and there's the refrain that I hear is that they see people seem excited about. Well, they got new readers from Ultimate Universe, GI Joe, Transformers, and Absolute Universe, so they do see a lot of new readers, especially like. Weirdly, like there's a lot of success, a lot of talk and buzz about those books on TikTok, which I didn't even realize, but there is like I guess they're a lot more memeable, like the Absolute and Ultimate books, but they also like they're bringing in a bunch of young
Spectre versus All Endless members.
So I have heard that from retailers, and
I'd probably take All Endless members.
Feel more listened to, I think, by Marvel and DC.
Modern Day Spectre is kind of crazy though.
I mean, I'll speak for DC just because whatever. But we have a lot more conversations with them, which
all of them, man. Oh no, that's kind of crazy.
I don't know. I think my guys, when I go to cons too, I mean, it seems like people are more excited than maybe than usual, which is my
People
hope,
just like
you know?
fresh
It's
starts,
I know
like in
everybody is,
absolute
like,
power, man.
I think there were just some
People
fun
like being
years,
caught
where
up.
there were years where there was like, and I'm sure I'm, complicit in this too, but there were a bunch of years where there was a lot more sort of supportive money in comics from the speculator market, where you could do special variant covers, and there was streaming was a really big deal where people wanted to get the first issue of a comic that had already sold for a TV show because streaming was so big. And
Yeah.
so there were a lot more levers you could pull to make sure your comic like did well,
Yeah.
even if it was a smaller comic, or even if it was something that was not a traditionally kind of commercial comic in that way. And a lot of those levers have gone away, and so it's a trickier and more more competitive and different kind of market now, where I feel like it just brings out a lot of strengths and weaknesses. And so I think retailers are seeing the books that embrace that challenge really do better than they expected. And I think they're also seeing, books that maybe fall back on some of the older blueprints where you had a longer run before people started dropping the book because money was not as tight as it is right now. Like, you're seeing a lot of that stuff kind of winnow, so again, I'd always rather it be like, I wish it was more flush with money and everybody was, so I'm not wishing like any hard times or enjoying that. It's more just reacting to it and trying to realize if this is the market you're in, you've got to meet it. And it can bring out a lot of really big, exciting strengths in the medium as well, if you kind of embrace some of those challenges. So
no, it's interesting seeing the return of some of like 90s things. Like, I was too young to actually like pick up some of those things, but I'm seeing like, the cards and the bags and all of those kind of things. It's interesting because people online tend to like to roast those things. I'm like, yeah, but I see people picking them up, and like Exquisite Corpses is always gone by the time I get there. So it's like people are definitely responding to it in some way.
That's what I mean. Like, I just went to, like, so we have semi-season tickets to the Yankees because of, like I told you, my kid got like crazy into baseball. And like the days that you will not, like, you don't want to go are the bobblehead or the giveaway days. And it will be like, the other day was a Hamilton cap. It was Hamilton Yankees crossover night, and the lines to get were insane. And what you realize is, like, you can knock the stuff and be like, oh, whatever, but people love it, and that's great. Like, enjoy the collectability of it. Enjoy that it reminds you of something you loved. Enjoy that, enjoy the corniness of it if you just want to get a weirdo Justice League card. And so I think there is like a re-embrace of this notion of like, it's not about like being worried about selling out or about over commercializing it if it's sincere about what it is in that way, So again, nobody wants to, like, we want to make sure you're giving everybody hopefully more than they're paying for. But that said, like, I think you do see, like you're saying, I think you see a real re-embrace of some of the kind of fun, gimmicky shamelessness of the 90s, like, which we all love. Like, I still have a lot of my like weirdo hologram cards and covers and all of that, So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing or a bad sign. I just think, again, everybody find your comfort zone and lean into it. Like, I have some students and friends that are like, I want to do all these gimmicks and this for my comic, and it's like, it just feels unnatural for the thing you're doing. Like, you don't. It's a quiet comic about friendship, but it's like, I want to do holographic glow in the dark. And it's like, no, you don't want to do that. But for Noctera, or a book that's like, sure, but not for like, if I was doing like After Death, I wouldn't do that or whatever. So it's trying to find your level, trying to find what feels sincere for the book. James is so good at that. Yeah,
it takes time because, like, it's the same with creating content, because also you're also always seeing what everybody else is doing too. And sometimes, especially if they're in their comfort zone, it looks really great and awesome and cool. And so it's like, wow, that looks great. But part of that is because that is their zone. And so it's like, once you find yours, then it will look the same to other people, which is something.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think, like, you just sort of, you figure it out, like, where you're, what I tell the students in the class is always like, try and find the most honest or sincere way of communicating with the community that you think would, you're really trying to reach for this thing. that would like it, that you want to connect with the most in that method, you know, like whatever it is, like do that. Like that might just be going to bookstores. It might just be, you know, or it might be like full court press, everything, you know, and making a weird video. That's okay too. Like whatever it is, but you know, it's okay to just be you in the promotion of your thing, you know, and that. So, because it is a tough market. I don't want to sugarcoat it. But again, I think that can really bring out the best sometimes in, you know, in some kind of, in some ways, as much as I wish it wasn't that type of market. It is a challenge that, like, if you meet it in a certain way, things can overperform. Like you can find a lot of success in it if you sort of figure out a way to be really straightforward about what you're doing. You know,
well, it can force different creative solutions too, because you kind of have to think outside the box when there is so much noise. It really forces you to think about things in a different way.
Yeah, it does. Like, for example, like we're doing one of the crossovers in our series we're doing a series called Night Fight, which was a title everybody always wanted to do for like 10 years. Nobody knew how to do it, about Batman, like just Batman fighting everybody. And then we were like, Night Fight, what's that? And then it was like, well, it'll be the fights that Batman has in the competition. And it was like, you know, and we were in that zone. And then Josh and I were talking, and it was like, what's like the thing that, what do you want to see? Like if you were a kid, like what would you want to see? And it's like Batman versus the Joker. Oh, you've seen that, you know, and there's plenty of that. And it's like Batman versus the Batman versions of all the Robins. Like who would Jason Todd be if he gets to be Batman? Who would Damian be now past Batman 666, because he's had other experiences, like if he got to be Batman? Who would Dick Grayson be if he got to be Batman longer than he did last time? And what if he goes up against them, like his children as Batman, other Batman? And then I was like, oh, that I would pay to see. That's going to be fun. And then Dan Mora was like, I like that idea. I'll do that. And so it's that constant trying to figure out, not like just what will do the job, but like what is the elevated version of that you would go to the store and be like, I will really want this. Like I would want to read that. You know, I'm like I'm an old man, and I'm like, love the idea of like, I would totally pay to see.
Sometimes I wonder,
go up
like Snyder, just like start
Drake
polling
Batman,
people, man.
You know, who's like his age in this sort of
Polling people on these major figures.
See
Be
what
like,
Tim did
yo,
to Gotham. What does that look like? You know,
which
Be like-
storyline
It's
is the
important
best?
to tap into that kind of youthful energy and to never lose it, because it's like you always need to have new people coming in and have them be excited about what's going on and what's potentially coming. And I think it's always important to remember that, especially for younger people. A lot of these things are the first times, because it's easy when you've read so many things to be like, been there, seen it, but it's like not everybody's been there and
Yeah, true.
yet. And
DC's got a lot of
you can
content,
still
man.
do it in a different way that might be unique, just because of changes in storytelling conventions or just time periods, advances in technology. There's so many different things.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. It's always somebody's first experience with it, and each time is new if you bring something personal to it, you know, and that's why it's like, this to us was like, okay, we're not going to get to do this again. It's a big fight. What are the fights you want to see, and how do you? So I'll give you like an example. Was like, this is again spoiling stuff, but like for like the fight month, it was like not just who's going to fight, but like what's a fun way to do that, so it's not just one fight. Do you do 2 out of 3 where you can fight, and then if you lose, you respawn, and you can respawn as whatever version of yourself you think will win, and then they can too, and then it's 2 out of 3. So if you're, you know, young Batman, old Batman, whatever, like what, you know, but you don't know what your opponent's gonna do. So trying to figure that out of like what makes a really fun comic, not just like smash them together, but like what if you know, they get to really go at each other in this surprising, shocking, interesting way too, that gets it how they see themselves, and you know that. So it was like trying to take each piece of it and make it worth your money, make it worth your time.
Yeah,
I'm writing one of them, a fun one. I was like, I want that one. So there's one that's I was like, and you'll see right away, which is like what I would gravitate towards. So it'll be fun. But yeah, we have all this stuff. So we have like KO 1 comes out The first week of
October.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the first week, but it's probably going to sell out again. Like we've been really lucky with the absolute stuff. This is in that zone. Like, so the last day to order it, if you want one of these blind bags that might have sketches in it, has the special covers or any of that, the last day to order that is this coming Monday.
It's too late to order these, boys. I hate to break it to you.
The last day to order the issue itself, like every copy of it, is the following Monday, the 8th. And if you don't order it and it sells out, you know, you'll have to wait a month or whatever it is. So if you're out there, this is me absolutely shilling, but it is the truth. I'm not trying to be like, we have had really good luck with everything selling out, and they are preparing for a sellout on it. They already have a second printing cover like ready. So please, like go order it from your local store before Monday the 8th. And if you want a blind bag, before Monday the 1st. So now, and yeah, and we have Fight Month. We have Night Fight coming in November, which is Batman versus all his children as Batman. And we have like a prelude issue that kind of, if you haven't been reading all the books and you want to get like caught up before it starts, that comes out right before it's beautiful. It's written by Josh. So yeah, we're getting ready for it. And it's also compact. That's the other thing I'd just say is like, it's not 12 issues with a million tie-ins. It's literally 5 issues.
It just happens quick.
You
Okay.
can read just those 5 issues and like nothing else. Or if you want to be like fights in December, awesome. Read all those. If you want to be like, you know, I want to read everything. You can read, there's tie-ins to some of the books where some of the characters that decide they do not want to be a part of this and have other missions, like they're like, we have to figure out a different way to beat Darkseid. Flash feels that way. The Titans are protecting Earth while the rest of the...
Okay, so Flash isn't involved because he don't think this is a good idea at all.
They're really well done. So yeah, there's a lot, but it's also like
that was totally
really
accidental.
strategic, where we didn't want to interrupt anything that people are enjoying. We didn't want to force you to buy anything. It's really like, you know, you could literally read just five issues, or you could read, I think the maximum is probably, I don't know, like 15 to 20. So it's not huge. You know,
it's saying something that's saying that that's not huge. It's true.
Well, that's like if you buy everything, like all the satellites, like if you bought everything that had anything to do with it. Metal was a lot bigger, is all I'll say. Metal was like, Metal had like
this guy sucks, boys.
Batman tie-ins, and then it tied into multiple series, and it had one-shot specials, and it had extra mini-series. That one was like, you know, a good like third bigger than this. We wanted to keep this really compact, so, and really modular, whereas this one, again, it's really up to you. We want you to be able to decide what you want to buy and buy into, but you know, we're proud of everything coming out with it. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it sounds like fun. And I want to thank you for finding the time and taking some time to come and chat about it.
I love coming. I'm like, I mean, I feel like we're friends now. I like chatting to you off the air about like kids and comics and everything too. So it's always a pleasure, Sasha. I'll be here anytime, as long as, I just always worry your audience. I don't want them to get like completely sick of me and not want me around, and that's okay too. I will go away, I promise. But as long as people ever want me to come on, or you know, or I'll be here in a second. I love the show. I listen all the time, watch all the time. Damn. My kid watches now too, which is fun. My 18-year-old. So yeah, no, I really appreciate the time and you making the time, and I know your life is really busy too.
No, thank you, and I'm sure everybody's going to be excited to check it out.
Thanks, we'll have fun. It'll be good.
Thanks so much to everyone who made it to the end. If you're in a position to pre-order blind
not bad.
Today's the day. I'm recording.
There was some interesting stuff discussed inside this video. You know, go watch the Casually Comics video version of this, man. Go see what's up. That was a pretty interesting stuff, man. The KO event sounds like it's building up to be quite the massive event. What do you guys think? What do you think, homies? What do you think of the event? Or at least Scott Snyder trying to hype it up as much as he can? I'm curious to see if this shit really is gonna be, the goods, man. Holy shit, this boss is crazy, boys. No, damn it. You hope someone takes the power because Soups refuses? That would be dope, because they say like other people are like, we're gonna try other paths and stuff. It does seem a little unhinged Superman is taking this path, but I mean, hey, I mean, what do you do sometimes? Shit's tough. Sometimes Darkseid's being Darkseid, you know, what do you do? I'm really unsure as to what half these people are doing in the tournament. But, I don't know. Superman seems to really be on something right now, man. Seems to be kind of losing his jazz. That argument he had with Batman was crazy, man. Crazy. Man. KO event, KO event. He did say that Joker would get Adam's belt, grow 100 feet tall, and start eating people. That was hilarious. I can't even imagine a world where Joker is Darkseid. My god. Think of how fucked up it would be. Shit. Yo, this new Green Lantern Corps chapter 2, the next episode of Starbreakers, bro, is crazy. New comics today were wild, boys. Oh my god, got him. Let's go. Nothing? Yo, that's crazy. Oh, I broke into an ant colony. Our theory was right, Rock. It does indeed appear Krona was trolling. They are indeed bringing back the good stuff. This run could not be any more goated. Holy shit. The conspiracy theory of Krona being behind everything with Kelly finally came through. Hold on, did I make a video about that whenever I was talking about Kelly's gear? Did I actually unironically call that? Oh, you can dive down, yo. The aura. Chase is always pissed at Bell, okay? But yo, that was a pretty crazy live stream, boys, but unfortunately I think I am going to call it there. It's good as always. Might head over to the server, we'll see what's up, but don't you guys work too hard. Thanks for hanging out and talking some DC with me. Sorry I've been so absent. Things just been a little weird recently. But don't forget to like and subscribe, homies. Don't work too hard. Later.